Hello, this is Dave Hammer. Today we're going to talk about building the Cricut Utility Air Hammer. All videos and pamphlets produced by David Hammer are copyright protected. The Cricut videos are available on YouTube for free viewing at this time. I do not give permission for the content to be downloaded nor used for any commercial gain. Metalworking projects require the use of shop equipment. Please exercise caution when using machines. These videos are offered without accepting any liability for your experiences. Your safety is your sole responsibility. This video is the fourth in a series that provides information about how the original Cricut Utility Air Hammer was built. This episode covers the construction of the ramp dock assembly. This is a picture of the ramp dock assembly. It's about 28 inches long. Let me offer some information explaining why we have a ramp dock assembly. Early in the development of the Cricut, the ramp dock was mounted to the side of the ram assembly. This placement required that the roller valve be mounted above the table, and I didn't like that. I wanted all the air circuit components to be below the table. So I came up with the idea of a ramp dock assembly, which allowed me to move both the ramp dock and the roller valve to below the table. The ramp dock assembly is bolted to the ram assembly. As such, it moves up and down with the ram as the ram cycles. These are the materials that were needed to make the ramp dock assembly for the original Cricut. If you use a longer cylinder, then the requirements may change. Next, we'll be marking the angle iron for stock removal. First, we'll mark for crosscuts at 12 inches from the top. This line will be a 1/4 inch in from the inside vertical. The outside line is drawn 1/2 inch from the edge. Next, we'll mark the areas that will be removed so we don't get confused at the bandsaw. First, the short 1/2 inch crosscut. Then part of the longer crosscut. I'll have to finish this from the other side. Before I do that though, I make the 1/2 inch long cut. Then I finish the crosscut for removing that side. And then the last long cut. If you don't have a bandsaw, these cuts could be made with either a porta-band or a zip disc from the other side. And the carriage backbone is finished. We'll be welding parts onto it. Here I'm grinding the ramp for the roller on the roller valve to ascend and descend. Next, we're just going to put a half round on the 1 inch bar. This is purely cosmetic. This little demonstration is just going to show where the three pieces will be welded together. First our backbone, and then this one inch piece, part of which the roller will run on, and then the ramp dock, which the roller will run up and down the ramp and sit on the docks. Here I'm grinding bevels in preparation for welding the 1-inch bar onto the backbone. Next we'll be clamping the 1-inch bar onto the backbone to prepare for welding. For some reason this was a little bit of a challenge. First we'll tack this side with the bevels. Then we'll flip it over and weld about a 2-inch run near the top of that 1-inch bar. I may not have put a bevel in there. There should have been one. This center weld was a mistake. I had to cut it out later. Turn the assembly over and finish the welds and the bevels. Next, clamp the ramp dock in place to prepare for welding. Weld a short run on the side near the ramp. Then weld the bottom. Then off to the belt grinder to grind all the welds smooth. As I say, I'm fair at welding. I'm great at grinding. I've never had a weld come loose, so I don't apologize for my welding, but I do grind. Here's a new ramp and dock assembly on the left. You can see it has a little more support on the top. Next, attach the ramp dock assembly to the ram assembly. This is our completion target. Ensure the ramp dock assembly fits without any wobbling. This is important. Identify the vertical alignment position for the bolts. The black marks in the lower left show where the bolts should go through the assembly. Mark placements for the 5 bolts shown. Drill 3/16-inch pilot holes. Clamp the ramp dock assembly onto the ram assembly and transfer the pilot hole positions. Drill 3/16-inch pilot holes. Widen those pilot holes to an F drill bit size. This is for tapping for 5/16-inch bolts. Widen the pilot holes on the ramp dock assembly to 5/16. Tap the 5 holes in the ram assembly for 5/16 bolts. Install the ramp dock assembly. Identify where there is interference with access to the gib adjusters and the grease zerks. Cut notches to provide access to the gib adjusters and grease zerks. Round out the notches with a belt grinder. This is cosmetic. Round the corners on the top of this assembly. This is all cosmetic also. Install the ramp dock assembly and verify that there's clear access to the gib adjusters and grease zerks. And here we have a completed task. This is Dave Hammer. Thanks for watching.